Here it is about little 10 after 1, and Lionel's been having such troubles this today that I got froze up. They called on me, but I couldn't get them to hear me. And oh, well, that's the other one. And refreshing and getting out and coming back in and all like that didn't work. And it looks like the Smart Connect stuff even lost my camera. So I'm registered for a 2 o'clock one. Sorry, guys, that want to hear from me in the 1 o'clock one. I tried. So I was gonna, if I didn't have an appointment, I was going to record anyhow. So let's do that recording. I've released the Unicorn Mint newsletter #1, the very first one. So now we'll see where that goes. And I've already told people about my Unicorn Mint at um, brightday.com, or not, brightday.net, excuse me. I had the .com sold decades ago. Um, and I'm telling people to send emails there, especially if they're interested in being a working partner, and indicate whether they want the newsletter or not. And maybe I'll react, maybe I won't. So that's the problem. I don't follow up and follow through. So you need to get a hold of me and give me something like an email I can react to. And hopefully we would lead into Zoom sessions if you want to talk personally. So so I've got a newsletter going, right? And I've got the web page I want for unicornmint.fun. But one of the projects I'm working on is getting somebody on Fiverr to set me up with a web server in a droplet on DigitalOcean. Unfortunately, yesterday when I went to fund the account, DigitalOcean just would not take any of my payment methods, which makes me suspicious about them because I've run into scams before where, yeah, it's actually a trick. Cybersecurity wise, it's actually a trick. They're not going to hook you up to PayPal. They just are fishing for your information. They're not going to hook you up to your credit card. They're just fishing for information. So at this point, I have another card I could give them, but I'm like, do I want to do this again? Last time U.S. Bank saved me from it, the U.S. Bank fraud department. So anyhow, it's not a good sign for DigitalOcean, which otherwise I'm starting to run into more and more of, yeah, DigitalOcean, it's the way to go with this. I guess they're calling it VPS, virtual processing services. But it's the way to go. And yeah, I can get on a Web 2.0 thing like HostGator that I'm trying to migrate off of, but then I'd have to do the work again. And my target is to be on Web 3 and to use VMs. So I've got it to do. Uh, as this stuff gets so frustrating with all the snafu that vendors provide, like you want to revisit then. Well, do I really need that? Well, wait a sec. Do I really not have that with HostGator? Can I set it up on HostGator until I have the new thing set up and going? And like that. But I have the home page, and it's not WordPress. And this guy, I guess, a lot of them are about WordPress, of course. I understand that. I'm okay with WordPress. I just don't want to spend the time to install it and configure it and like that. Right now, just an HTML page. Good old Web 1.0 type stuff, you know. And I've been emailing that to some people. Did I put, oh, I did put it on newbryce.com because brightday.net and newbryce.com are largely domains whose purpose is for email. But I had it kind of sitting there with like a 403 or something, and all I had to do is throw an index page on it. So I did, and so I guess if you go to newbryce.com, I'd have to check that again. You'll get my what I want to be homepage for unicornmint.fun. Right. So it's there. I can point people to it. See, I got this YouTube channel, which I pointed some people to. And as I'm getting more professional with like my communications, like emails, I'm starting to flesh in the current version of my signature, at the bottom of an email. That's about it. I'm not going to worry about more than that. You want to worry about more than that? You go off and do the work. Um, See, like being a webmaster, yeah, I can do the work. I've done the work. I've probably done work a lot more than you have, but that's not what my work's about. That's not me anymore. I can mentor and guide and lead, people for that. That's why I offer an internship. But my work, I shake my head because I feel so pompous and arrogant. My work, don't take this in the wrong way, okay? My work is at a higher level. I'm the founding entrepreneur and I need to be a alpha team leader until I can delegate it to somebody and work on de- developing my systems, which is what I really love and what is my fun. Games. I've written down in my notes. I want to release our first game product by the end of the year. Can't make it right now because it may take too long and be too involved in pitfalls. As if you're any good as a systems developer, the first thing you do in developing your systems is you try to constrain it as much as feasible because it can't happen here, as the mothers said so long ago. If it ain't there, it can't happen. A whole bunch of fault tolerance and error trapping and bug bounties. And bug bounties something I'm interested in doing. We want our people to do bug bounties. Um, as I use this schlocky crap stuff we call software on Web 2.0, the more I run into which I identify as bugs. And I could write down a trouble ticket for the developers or maintenance programmers or whatever saying, we got this bug. I tried to do this. This is what happened. Okay, here's an example. My Thunderbird email client is supposed to, it pops up and says, well, do you want to allow this content? Because that's a big cybersecurity thing. And the other day I ran into where it did that, but I didn't click on it. And I clicked on the URL in the email and it all worked fine. That is a bug. So the whole purpose of that approval process is that you can't just casually or carelessly click on a link and you're in trouble now. You've opened yourself up to where they were able to hack you some way and be malicious. Say, well, no, that doesn't happen. Well, you think that doesn't happen, then why do you think they've got the option thing that they ask you first? Should I populate this with the HTML or whatever it is, or go to the link that they provide? So that's a bug. So what the point here is bug bounties. Our people, just as you use software, so called, um, you run into a bug that you've identified, document it, document what steps were taken and why it's a bug and like that, and submit a ticket. And that's knowledge. That's knowledge that the vendor themselves likely doesn't know. Now, I can think of some exceptions. Like, there was a fun one at Nintendo that I loved. Fun little story. Maybe I'll tell it to you sometime involving Super Mario. Um, And yeah, if we gather that up and put it into our knowledge system, that could be grouped together as a report or something. If it's pretty much automated or whatever, we could automate being able to do custom reports, vendor specific, and then go to them and say, "We've got this knowledge report about bugs found on your software. You want it?" Oh, we're for profit. Nothing's for free. Not really. So, and it's not ransomware or anything. We did the work. We own it. We own the knowledge. But we could go to them and say, tell you what, for $2,000, we'll send you this NFT that's a report on the bugs your product has, whether you know about it or not. Again, ideally, if they're doing support and maintenance, if they're a legit company, they should be having maintenance programmers and stuff fixing bugs behind the scene and release a service pack 2. Are you listening, Microsoft? But release a service pack or at least have it in the next version. Buy our version 2.0. We fixed a bunch of bugs. Oh God. I hope you got something out of this recording. I'm opening channels where you can reach out and touch me. Did I mention Unicorn Mint at brightday.net? That's spelled BRITEDAY.net. It's a business that I started up in 1984, coming back again in 2024. Wow, that's an easy decade thing, isn't it? 40 years? Okay, so brightday.net, or Bright Day Enterprises, I should say, was started in 40 years ago. Yes, 40 years ago. Okay. Um so if you care, if you're interested, and if you don't care and you're not interested, don't bother me. I mean, already if this email address gets out, I'll get 30, 40 Russian hackers sending shit to me every day. No, I'm not saying maybe. Been there, done that, seen that. One of the reasons why I don't have websites up, if I don't have people to webmaster them. You gotta go and clean all that crap out. So anyhow, ta-ta for now. Oh hey, I talked to Santa today. Asked me about it. Maybe I'll tell you sometime.